Hey there, Rowan. I gotta tell you, I've been just captivated by this Kolshi contract, right? Kolshi, they're pricing a major US data breach, like by June 1st, at 18 cents. But then you flip on the cable news and it's all crisis and unprecedented. You know, it's really striking because one of those has to be just fundamentally wrong, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely, Amara. It's wild, isn't it? Like Palo Alto, they've just disclosed that AI is, well, surfacing way more vulnerabilities than those old baseline scans, right? And Microsoft, they just pushed out May patches. This is like real-time stuff. But yeah, you see the headlines, they're screaming 40 cents. And the market's saying 18. No one seems to be asking the most obvious question. Why?
Exactly. The coverage, it's all reading the discovery rate. You know, how many new vulnerabilities are popping up. But the order book, it's reading the actual architecture that would, well, settle such an event. And here's the kicker, Rowan. That architecture, it does not exist. CISA's catalog cycle, it closes May 21st. If this contract crosses 30 cents with any real depth before then, capital folds. But if not, the market knows something the analysts don't. And we're going to show you exactly where to watch, you know?
That's the perfect frame for it, Rowan. The discovery rate is the visible signal, you know? It comes in a press release with a headline-ready number. Frontier models surfacing more vulnerabilities than baseline scans. That lands. But the absorption clock, that's the invisible signal. It comes from a federal civilian directive that, honestly, nobody outside compliance even reads. CISA's Binding Operational Directive 22-01, November 2021. That is still the boundary mechanism. An entry on the Known Exploited Vulnerabilities Catalog, or KEV, it converts an advisory into a binding patch deadline for federal civilian agencies. That's the conversion point. That is what the contract is pricing, whether a KEV before patch crossing actually produces a named entity breach inside the window. And the order book, Rowan, is saying it just doesn't believe one is coming.
Which is, the part that just doesn't make it onto the cable segment. The host, they ask, how dangerous is this? And the guest, they say, unprecedented. Both parties in that exchange, they have a huge incentive, don't they, to just inflate that discovery rate framing. The host, they need alarm to hold the segment. The guest, they need urgency to secure their next booking. Neither one of them is paid or even incentivized to introduce a contract price into the conversation. Because a contract price, like that 18 cents, it reads like deflation. And deflation, Amara, that's not what gets you a Tuesday hit, is it?
No, it's absolutely not. So the question becomes, which read is actually correct? The order book or this booking pattern we're seeing? The thing is, the order book has a really strong record, of correctly pricing the difference between a discovery and a settlement event. It's not like it's external to the news. It reads the same disclosures, but it weights them differently. It weights the patch architecture, it weights the enforcement instrument. And right now, Rowan, it's reading what executive action, did to that architecture over the last 15 months. And that's like a whole different story.
Walk me through that, Amara, because this is exactly where the booking conversation just completely breaks down, doesn't it? We're talking about the same Article 2 actor who signed Executive Order 14179 back in January 2025. That rescinded the prior AI safety framework, right? Removed the procedural architecture, pulled the boundary. And then, in May 2025, the same actor signed the Take It Down Act. That imposed a 48-hour notice and removal clock on platforms for, non-consensual intimate imagery and AI-generated deepfakes. Bipartisan, cleared the Senate unanimously, the House at 409-2. Fast clock, hard boundary. It's like confusing, right? It is. It's absolutely confusing, Rowan. So the same hand, it pulled the structural constraint on AI deployment velocity, and then it added this narrow fast clock gate on one very specific downstream harm. That is the asymmetry. The market is reading it. The Take It Down Act treats its boundary as a boundary. The clock is not like a tunable parameter. It is a hard constraint with platform liability attached. But Executive Order 14179 treats the prior safety framework as a variable.
safety procedural requirements weighed against deployment velocity, and resolved toward velocity. Same actor, 2 registers, simultaneous. The market, it's pricing the gap. The narrative, it's pricing the symbol. And this is what that looks like for a household this week, you know?
The same person, Rowan, opening their insurance app to read an AI-assisted coverage decision is also reading the headline about AI finding more vulnerabilities than baseline scans. Both these pressures arrive at their week through the same delivery mechanism, a system optimizing for throughput. Neither one comes with a price they can read. Neither one comes with an enforcement instrument they can name. They feel the asymmetry. They cannot articulate it. The contract, Rowan, is the only place it has a number on it. And it's a problem, isn't it?
It really is, Amara. And here's where I actually want to push a bit, you know? The cyber contract, at least it has a price, even if it's thin, even if the order book is reading the absence of an instrument. But the healthcare side, it doesn't even have that. The Cauchy book on AI healthcare regulatory enforcement, it's void. I mean, literally no instrument exists. KFF just reported this month that federal posture is actually loosening on AI healthcare safeguards. States are moving, but the patchwork is like so fragmented. Opaque AI-assisted records can confuse clinicians. Coverage decision support is going into insurance review workflows, and there is no contract anywhere that prices any of it. What does that absence even mean?
It means, Rowan, that the harm has no price because no one is selling its binary. The same logic that produces the cyber contract at 18 cents. Thin depth, capital reading the absent enforcement instrument, produces the healthcare contract at absolutely nothing at all. The healthcare harm, it's structurally blocked from pricing because it just doesn't resolve in a discrete event a market can settle on. A patient who receives a degraded AI-assisted coverage decision, they don't produce a public attribution. There is no June 1st. There is no named entity. The harm it aggregates into outcomes that look like ordinary mortality variance and ordinary denial rates. The market, it simply cannot find a clean question to ask. And so, it doesn't ask one.
Wow, which, that really puts the FTC posture into a totally different light, doesn't it? Andrew Ferguson at the Commission, he has the discretion to convert that Take It Down Act compliance reminder into a docketed enforcement action against a named platform inside that window, but he hasn't. The reminder is just a warning. The case would be the conversion. He's holding that discretion in reserve. And then on the broader AI cyber surface, he doesn't have the statute to exercise. The Senate Commerce Committee under Cruz hasn't advanced one. So the boundary that exists is really narrow. The boundary that doesn't exist, the one the cyber contract is pricing the absence of, that's structural, isn't it?
And that brings us right back to the 18 cents, Rowan. The order book isn't pricing the discovery rate. It's pricing 3 named actors holding 3 discretions in reserve. Ferguson holding the docket. CISA leadership holding the catalog cycle on standard cadence, not expedited posture. Senate Commerce holding the legislative architecture until next cycle. 3 authorities, all named, none currently being exercised in a way that would force a resolution event inside the window. The market, it's reading the discretion. The cable cycle, it's reading the disclosure. Same week, same field. Completely different reading instruments. And Rowan, the gap is not going to close on its own.
No, it truly isn't. The harder return, it runs through the booking pattern. The longer that conversion instrument stays absent, the more the cable cycle it calcifies around that discovery rate framing. We're about 3 weeks into this AI cyber framing becoming the default. By June 1st, that framing will be the assumed register, the way the story has always been told. If the contract expires near 18 cents without a resolving event, the cable read won't be like the market saw what we messed. It'll be nothing happened, the alarm was overblown. And the public, Amara, will just absorb that read. Which means when the next high-volume Palo Alto disclosure lands, and there will be another, probably before the August recess, the public conversation will have already discounted it. the boundary that doesn't exist will become harder to build because the audience will have decided the harm is theoretical.
Precisely. And on the healthcare side, the absence just compounds in the other direction. Adoption is the variable. Every interaction inside the AI-mediated insurance workflow generates data that calibrates the next iteration of the same system. The optimization function, it's unchanged. The error surface visibility is suppressed. The household experience trains the algorithm that issues the next denial. 12 months from now, the system has more confidence in worse decisions. And the absence of a contract means there is no market signal anyone can use to notice. So the gap on the cyber side calcifies into a framing. The gap on the healthcare side calcifies into the algorithm. Neither one is going to surface a clean event before the public conversation forgets what it should have been asking. The order book is the only place either gap has a number on it, and on the healthcare side, it doesn't even have that. The contract sits at 18 cents tonight. CISA closes its catalog cycle May 21st. Watch the price, watch the depth. If the contract moves through 30 cents with the order book getting deeper before then, capital is conceding to the headlines, and a resolution event is closer than 18 suggests. If it holds below 25 with depth unchanged, the market has told you what the cable cycle has not, that no enforcement instrument is going to surface a named entity breach before June 1st. Either way, the gap resolves in public, on a price you can read, on a date you can mark. The architecture that produced it is visible now. The next move belongs to 3 named officials and 1 market, and one of those 4 is going to show its hand first.
Well, what a journey this has been tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you've enjoyed our conversation, please do us a huge favor and like this episode. Leave a comment with your thoughts, share it with your network, and of course, subscribe to help us grow and keep bringing you these deep dives. It truly means the world. Rowan, this feels like we've pulled back a very thin veil, doesn't it?
Absolutely, Amara. It's about seeing beyond the immediate headline, finding the true signal in a world full of noise. What we've discussed tonight isn't just theory, it's tangible, reflected in that 18-cent contract. It's a testament to the market's cold, hard read on structural realities.
Precisely. And that read, that clear-eyed understanding of where the actual power and discretion lie, is what empowers our audience. Remember those 3 named actors, their discretions, and the market itself. These are your true compass points.
Indeed, because understanding these unseen forces, the mechanisms the media overlooks, allows for a far more accurate assessment of risk and opportunity in this complex digital landscape.
So keep watching, keep asking the difficult questions, and until next time, stay curious, stay critical, and never stop seeking the true architecture of power.